As is always the case with these short week games, injuries are a major question mark.
Thursday Night Football sucks.
We're not going to get into that right now. It's Alex Barth and Evan Lazar from Gillette Stadium, and two marquee names. Their status is in doubt for Thursday night. For the Patriots, it's tight end Rob Gronkowski. For the Colts, it's wide receiver T.Y. Hilton. And we'll start here. I want to emphasize that I am not even comparing T.Y. Hilton to Rob Gronkowski as a player. Rob Gronkowski is a much better player. But given what they do in their respective offenses, and more importantly, given the depth behind them, who is a more impactful potential loss in this game, Gronkowski or Hilton?
I still go Gronk.
Okay.
I mean, I still think that just his talent level being what it is, and the fact that we are going to see Julian Edelman for the first time, but it's been since Super Bowl 51 since we've seen Julian Edelman in a regular season game. We're still not 100% sure that Josh Gordon is going to come out here and play a ton. So I think that in terms of just the Patriots passing game has already been a struggle with Gronk on the field. You take him off the field, it's a struggle that I'm a little bit concerned about. But I will say one thing about the T.Y. Hilton. I just looked up the Colts depth chart just to remind myself of who's their wide receivers behind T.Y. Hilton. It's a scary place. You think the Patriots wide receiver depth is bad and talent is bad? I would say that without Hilton, this Colts team is worse than the Patriots by a long shot. Chester Rogers, Ryan Grant, Nyheim Hines, who's a rookie that I really liked in the draft. He's more of a running back, receiving back type, kind of like Corey Grant in Jacksonville. But at the same time, it's really slim pickings at the wide receiver position in particular. Chester Rogers and Ryan Grant, those are two names that I don't think a lot of people know. You know, there's not a lot of fantasy football teams that have those two guys on their roster, so to speak. So it's going to be a long night for the Colts, I think, here if T.Y. Hilton can't play.
And I want to get to the fantasy aspect in a bit, but you mentioned what Rob Gronkowski would mean and kind of who's behind him. If T.Y. Hilton doesn't play, and it sounds like he's not going to play, you just ran through some of those names, but the Colts offense, it's looked better than people thought these first couple weeks. Where are they going? Of those guys you just named or anybody you didn't, where are they looking? Where's Andrew Luck going with the football?
Well, two things. One, Andrew Luck has looked spectacular on the tape that I've watched him. Controlling a lot of things at the line of scrimmage. His reads have been really crisp. I wouldn't say that his arm is 100% back, but I wouldn't say that it's a concern or something that's holding the Colts offense back by any means. And obviously, Frank Reich is a pretty good schemer, West Coast-based system, doing a lot of good things to get Andrew Luck on the move and get him some easy passing windows. The guy that I would really look for is Eric Ebron, the tight end. I think that he's going to be a big factor in this game. They've gotten him the ball a lot, especially in the red zone. He's caught it in a few touchdown passes. He's been a big target for Andrew Luck in the middle of the field, and Luck loves his tight ends, whether it was Jack Doyle or Kobe Fleener, Dwayne Allen when he was on the Colts. Luck has always incorporated his tight ends. All quarterbacks love throwing to tight ends. They're big targets. They're usually in the middle of the field. They're not running vertical passing routes outside the numbers that are difficult shots to hit. So I think that overall, Eric Ebron and Nyheim Hines, the guy I mentioned earlier, are going to be a huge factor in this game. I think the Patriots are going to have something ready for Nyheim Hines, though.
So fantasy football-wise, now I want to get back into the fantasy element. Fantasy players who have Rob Gronkowski, have T.Y. Hilton, who should they pick up, stash on the bench in case we find out one of those guys is out Thursday night?
Well, I don't know if there's anybody from this game that I would stash on the bench. I think that, you know, this one, if you don't have those two guys, then you're probably...
Just skip it? Just pass on Thursday night?
Yeah, just skip it. But in terms of, you know, who they could possibly replace them with, I don't know. I think that, you know, if Josh Gordon is active, which I think everybody assumes that he is, I think he's got to be in your fantasy lineup if you're somebody
if he's still available. I don't know how many, especially for people in New England in those leagues, I know he went like hotcakes.
Yeah, one other tight end. I know he didn't have a big game here against the Patriots last week, but Mike Gesicki is coming for the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill had a really bad game against the Patriots on Sunday. I don't expect him to play that poorly again this week. So Gesicki, if he's not on a roster yet, I would look to pick him up to replace Gronk.
All right, real quick here before we wrap it up, because they're getting ready for the charity game here today behind us. Forget questionable, doubtful, out. Give me a percentage you think Hilton and Gronkowski play Thursday night.
I think that there's a very, very slim chance that T.Y. Hilton plays in this game. Frank Reich said after the game on Sunday against Houston that he basically doesn't think that he's going to play, and that was on Sunday. I mean, that was, you know, already saying that he's not going to play is pretty, you know, alarming in terms of his status. With Rob Gronkowski, he was not at practice today with the Patriots in what's going to be one of their only practice sessions of the week. This is going to be a big game plan practice. They were in walkthrough gear. They weren't in pads. So I think this is going to be a big, big game plan practice. You miss the game plan practice, it's going to be really
tough.
tough for you to play in the game. So I think that Bulls, T.Y. Hilton, and Gronk are unlikely to play on Thursday.
I lied. One more question, just so Patriots fans can kind of put into perspective where this injury's at. Let's say the Patriots have a regular week. Let's say the game's on Sunday instead of Thursday. Do you think Rob Gronkowski plays?
No. I think that they would have. I think they're going to hold him out this week. I think it helps, obviously. That's a short week. That gives them a full 10 days on the back end to get ready for the, the Kansas City Chiefs, which is going to be a huge game. So I think that, no, I think that they're going to hold Gronkowski out regardless, whether this game is on Thursday or on Sunday. It's week 5. There's no reason to push it right now.
Against the Colts.
Yeah. Or whoever it's against, there's no reason to push it right now with Rob Gronkowski.
There you go. Rob Gronkowski, T.Y. Hilton. Will they be out here? What will they do? We'll have you covered all throughout the game on Thursday, online at clnsmedia.com, and on our Twitter at PatriotsCLNS.